Hello guys, good evening and welcome to today's tutorial. So in today's tutorial we'll be learning how to make this beautiful cowl neckline. So what we need is a basic bodice. This pattern I'm cutting now is what we'll be using for both the back and the front. So I'll go ahead and mark my shoulder. For the neck width I'm using 3.5. Then for the depth for the back I'll use 1.5. Then I'll go in and take my shoulder slope like so. The shoulder slope is 1 inch. Then I'll measure my armhole depth, that's 9.25. Just the way I'm doing it. It's very easy. This pattern is very easy. We'll not be using that and all, just the basic pattern. Then we'll need our bust point. For the bust point is 11.5. So I'll go ahead and mark it. Then I'll mark my half length, which is 18. I'll go ahead and put the dot just like so. So after doing the half length, I'll go ahead and measure my full length, which is 26. Then I would go ahead and connect all the dots together, just like I'm doing. Please, if you have not subscribed to my channel, kindly like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you, and God bless you. Okay, so I would go ahead and connect all the dots. Then I'll connect the shoulder to the shoulder slope. After that, I'll go ahead and connect my neckline. The neck depth I'm using is 1.5, just like so. So I'll measure it and then connect. So after connecting, I would go to the armhole part. From the armhole depth, I'll go there and measure 3 inches up, just like I'm doing. Then from the 3 inches, I'll go in by 1. Yes, by 1. You can do 1 or 0.75. So you connect it just like so. You connect that place to your shoulder and then to your armhole. So I'll go ahead and insert my measurements. For the bust, I'm using 10.25 plus 1.5 inches allowance. The allowance I'm using is 1.5. So I'll measure 10.25 and impute the allowance like so. Then for the waistline too, I'm using a waist of 9 inches plus 1.25, like so. I'll add the allowance. Then on the hip part too, the hip I'm using is 12 inches. I would measure 12 inches plus 1.5 allowance and I'll connect it together. So the allowance you'll be putting depends on you. If you want the top to be big, you can add more than 1.5. But for me, 1 inch is fine. 1 inch is fine. I'll join with 0.5. So I have allowance of 1 inch. So I'll go ahead on the down part. I'll go up by 2 inches on the hip line. I'll go up by 2 inches. And from the downside, I'll mark 6 inches, just like I'm doing, and I'll connect it. Okay, so the purpose of doing this is to eliminate the sharpness. I don't want the edge of the down part to be sharp, so I'll go ahead and connect it like so. So after doing this, I would connect my armhole to, I'll connect it to the 0.75 or 1 inch. Okay, so after connecting, I'll just go ahead and cut it out. Please note that this is the pattern that I'll be using for both the front and the back. So you don't need to put any bust dart, any side dart or whatsoever. This is just a plain bodice like this, a dartless bodice. Yes, let me put it like that. A dartless bodice, and then you cut it out and you go ahead and place it on your fabric. So for this particular one, I've added my allowance, my sewing allowance to the pattern, so I don't need to add sewing allowance while cutting. But if you did not add sewing allowance to your pattern, please add the sewing allowance while cutting, so your top won't be tight. So I'll go ahead and cut it out like so for the back. So after cutting the back, to cut the front, you go to your bust point and then you draw a slant line from your bust point to your armhole, just like so. Just like the way I did here, you draw a slant line from your bust point to your armhole so you cut it out, but you would leave like 0.5 inch or 0.25, and then you open it by 10 inches. You go ahead and open that place that you cut out, that slitted part. You place your fabric well, you arrange it, and then you open it. By the minimum you should use is actually 10 inches, but you can use more than 10 inches. It depends on how bogus you want the front part to appear. Once you are done with that, you would go ahead and just cut it out like so. You don't need to cut out the neck part for the front. You just cut it straight like that, and then you would notch the shoulder part. Please notch the shoulder part so that it can be easy for you to join. So you go ahead and you just cut it out like so, just the way I'm doing. You just cut it out like so. And please, you don't need to remove any neckline for the front. Just mark your shoulder, connect it straight like I'm doing. Can you see? Just connect it straight like this and mark out your shoulder like so. Can you see? Notch your shoulder so that it will be easy for you to join. So this is what you should have. Can you see? When you join your shoulder. So to cut the sleeve, I'll be using freehand. You go down by 5 inches and you just connect. It depends on how big you want the sleeve to be too. So I want my sleeve to be big and not to get to my wrist. So I'm using 25 inches. Can you see? For the length, and for the width I used 15 inches. So this is the finished look after joining. This is what yours should look like. Thank you for staying to the end of the video. And I didn't add a zipper part to mine. If you want to add a zipper part to your bag, it's your choice, but you really don't need a zipper at the back. So this is what it should look like. Please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe on our YouTube channel. And also you can check our Facebook page, our Instagram, and also follow. Thank you for stopping by. See you in our next video. Bye.